I think so, but it's just hot.
Okay.
Telling your followers, Coach Forex is live.
Yes. Did they tell me? They've not told me. Maybe they've told me. They've told me on my watch.
How you guys doing? Can you guys hear me in the first place? Because I'm using a
Let me
microphone.
try.
So I want to make sure if you guys can hear me first. Oh, they can hear me. They can hear me. They can hear me.
Really?
Yeah, they said they can hear me. That's interesting.
Yeah, we can hear you.
How's everything? How's everything going? How's everything? How's life? How's business? How's trading? How's just living it all out? So my wife and I were just out here. We're having a conversation, right? Basically entrepreneurship, business, travel, trading. And then we're really talking about something very pressing, something very touching, something very sensitive that it was getting annoying. And sometimes I felt like sometimes some people just need to understand or learn because, my life is almost always about impact, sharing some part of my struggles and then pass it on so that you guys can also learn from it and then use it as an example. I mean, I'm nowhere near home to do chat work, so this is like a casual conversation. We'll probably go on with the chat work later. But generally speaking, we're talking about the proprietary trading space, right? You know that I literally just launched the Express funded proprietary trading firm with my other partners, and then we are fastly becoming one of the leading names in the industry. So by default, I am conditioned to almost always think about the industry's lead or the innovations or where it's going. You get what I mean? Like if I was not in, I wouldn't care. When I had not started a proprietary trading firm, I didn't really care. And now that I have a proprietary trading firm, I mean, this is a very important information, especially if you are anywhere close to, being concerned about the prop trading space. So there has been a shift, right? See, back in 2017, 2018, one trader was asking me that, how did you used to like make money? How did you used to like, grow, right?
Yeah.
And it was easy for me to really grow in 2017 and 2018 and 2019. You know why? Because like there was no shift in the industry and there was no shift in the current, funding space. Let me make it make sense. Like probably the only prop that existed or in their initial operation year was FTMO, right?
Yeah.
Every trader had two ways to make money, either trading their own capital or trading an investor's capital.
Yeah.
If you're trading an investor's capital, you got to be very good.
Yeah.
And if you're good, you're going to be able to make some money, you get your share, and so on, right? And you can literally leverage off from there,
Yeah.
right? Which is what I did for the most part.
Yeah.
But what people fail to realize is that that space has dried up. I was talking to one of my very key partners, right? I was talking to him, like he was literally on my neck, like he's looking for investors. I should connect him, and I was just laughing. I'm like, bro, that industry is dried up. That space is dry. You get what I mean by it's dried up?
Yeah.
Like, you know why?
Nobody does
And you know
that.
how it's scary? It's scary because the investors themselves or previous investors, right, are even now trading proprietary trading
Yeah.
firms.
Yeah.
If you go and speak to an investor that, oh bro, I'm very good at trading, I want you to invest in my course and let me be good, you know what they tell you? I just read about funding this firm, this. I'm going to buy $1. Like
Yeah.
you're talking about liquid cash. put 500,000, put 1,000,000, put this in the street. Like they're not willing to do that. Why? Because it's like a risk off now, right? Now the forex space has really gone into what we call the risk off, right? We used to only consider risk off with like fundamentals, geopolitics, right? But in the industry shift, there has been a risk off as well. You know where the risk off is? You get what I mean? Nobody wants to commit their physical cash as much.
course.
A few are though,
But I mean,
it's not prevalent like that.
Yeah.
So at the core front of it, it means that as an industry player, you got to be on top of your toes when it comes to where the funding space is going, right? Which is what we have done very good at when it comes to express funded. But one challenge that some people are not realizing is that, as with every industry, when it's going to be disruptive, it comes with its own attack, and then its own challenges, and you have to fight your way through it. You get me? I mean, I always tell people, especially with my community, that, especially with the express funded community as well, that so many people have not given a shot at entrepreneurship, right? So they don't understand the tiny bit of what goes into the title CEO. I was speaking with Rick yesterday, right? Then I was giving him so much details, like I was going mayhem. I was giving Rick like details, like imagine Rick who knows a lot, and I'm still giving him more details, and he was wowed and blown away. Where's Rick? He should probably be on the live. Rick, are you here? Let me see if you're here. And Rick was like Rick was startled. Rick didn't know what to say for like 1 hour straight. He's just like, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Are you having epilepsy or?
He's having a seizure.
He's having a seizure, information seizure. But it was interesting because Where are you dragging, man? That's just by the way. It was interesting because it was also revealing, and more emphasizing to myself that this is where we've actually reached, So Rick is not here, right? So he is, eh? He said I'm here. So where was I even before I shifted to Rick?
No, we were talking about being a CEO.
Yes, what it takes, right? Look, for so many people, they just wake up and in their Instagram bio write the name CEO of this and see, bro, it's not a joke, right? If you're gonna be great at what you do, right, especially in the role of a chief executive officer who has a chief operating officer under you and chief financial officer under you, number one, I perceive that you should have a very strong business background, a very, very strong one, And for me, I don't know if anybody holds that charge, in a better stance than me. Even when you currently want to talk into the prop space, right? Pick up all the prop CEOs, right, and start ranking them in terms of not even trading knowledge, because I don't know anybody who's going to come close. In terms of network, I don't even understand. But let's go into, the role and qualities and qualifications that one should hold as a chief executive officer or a co-founder, right? Number one, I have a solid degree in accounting from the Premier University in Ghana. I hold, a solid accreditation also from Harvard, right? In terms of alternative investment, right? And people don't, the name alternative investment kind of summarizes a whole chunk of things, so people don't get a hold of understanding what it truly means. Alternative investment, we're talking about private equity, and even about private equity, it goes into three. We're talking about venture capital, growth equity, and then buyouts. We are not even going there. We're talking about private debt, we're talking about hedge funds, and then we're talking about real estate, right? So me, I'm a deep professional in that space. Plus, added to that, I have my Ghana Stock Exchange certification, added to that, which also allows me to be well equipped in understanding matters in equity, even though none of us here bother ourselves with equity because we are currency traders, And I can go on to, what's the name? My MSc in financial management. Financial management means that I'm managing finance is money, so like I just love that challenge, and I just love where we are now, and I think for me, I'm ready for that charge. I'm ready to see where we take Express Funded and then the whole proprietary trading space to the next level, right? I've laid out much of my plans for the year 2024 and 2025 beyond, and I see that the sky is only the limit, In fact, the sky is actually the starting point, The prop trading space, nobody can stop it. Believe me, because innovations are coming around, and then like it's either you join or you fall off, or what do they say, right?
Yeah.
They have a way
It's
to
just like in that context,
and I think that and I think that you should find a way to align yourself to that space.
Yeah. The moving train,
For once, I'll also tell people that are here that are also very avid in the Express Funded community that we are coming and we're coming stronger, People are speculating, why are you guys not, appearing fast and blah, blah, blah. For a tactical, manager or a co-founder as I am, one thing with me is that, me, if it must be done.
It must be done well.
If it must be done.
It must be done well.
Maybe they don't understand it. If it must be done.
It must be done well.
It's my mantra, It has been my mantra for many, many ages and years. And that's what I would say has changed, my life. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Before I really say, I want to do this, I have pondered over it. I have asked questions. I have investigated. I have literally taken it and turned it upside down and scattered it all out. Research before I say, okay, let's give it a shot. It doesn't mean that after all those research and tearing it apart, I'm not going to face challenges. But at the core front of it, I'm ready for what? Those challenges. I'm ready for those challenges. And so...
I mean, these challenges are not even like directly towards you. It's
of course, the industry, yes. Even if it's directly
large.
towards me, I still have my military acumen. Let's not forget that. As a charged up soldier, you wake up, But it is what it is. So I just wanted to share this with you guys, keep you informed, keep you on your toes, just let you understand that it's an interesting journey where we're going in the industry, and then you got to also just be prepared, be ready, because big things are coming. Right now, let me share a little bit of plans for you guys. Right now, in my years as a trader, look, I still look very young and fresh, but I'm actually turning 30 in a couple of
31.
weeks. Jesus Christ.
31.
You have to remind me that I'm growing old. I'm turning 31 in a few days down the line. 31, So for me, my 5 years goal plan has been smashed in the first place.
Yeah.
Look, can you guys, right, the 332 people here, randomly tell me your age bracket. How old are you? I just want to tell you guys something. How old are you? Just tell me. Okay, I'm 20, I'm 25, I'm 22, I'm 19. Let me know your ages. I have something to share with you. Tell me your age, I have something to share with you. Then I'll go on to the next one. Tell me your age now, I have something to share with you. What are your ages? What are your age brackets? Where are the ages? I'm not seeing the ages.
They will come. I think they're now typing.
They're now typing. 21, you're going to see how young they are. 26. What are the rest of the ages? There's thing freezing again.
I don't think so. I think it's working.
I think it's freezing again.
Is it?
19, 23, 22, 25, 27. You see the age groups. 2, you're not in that financial capacity that you want to be in, right? Because most of you are in your mid 20s, right? The average median age here is 20, right?
Yeah.
22, 23, 24, 25. What I want to tell you is that set up a 5-year goal, 5-year goal plan, 5-year goal plan,
Realistic.
realistic goal plan, 5-year realistic goal plan. So this is 2024, right?
By 2029.
2029. So set a goal from 2024 to 2029, right? As far as you have reached the adulthood age, and then attain some level of independency. Let me put that clause there because some people are still under their parents' guardianship, schooling and all of that. I'm not
Yeah.
putting you, but even if you're schooling, keep this at the back of your mind that when I am done with school, this is some message that I got from Kojo, and then I want to implement that. But now this message is specifically for people that are out of school and doing some menial job that they're not happy about, or that type of bracket. 5 years, 5 years. You don't have to quit your job, you don't have to struggle, you don't have to suffer, whatever you're doing, just 5 years, right? If you're married, that's fine. If you're not married, you still fit in the bracket, right? If you don't have a car yet, that's fine. If you have a car, you still fit in the bracket. If you don't have a house yet, that's fine. If you have a house, that still fits in the bracket. But I'm going to tell you the truth. Those are just about the most simple goals that you must set for yourself as an initial, grounds in your career as a forex trader. You agree with me or not?
I do.
Look, marriage is subjective. Some people want to just be 40 before they marry. My very good friend Solomon, common forex, wants to be 50 years before he gets married. 50 years. So that's just by the way.
What about your son, Rick?
Rick wants to be 90 years. But anyway, you see, like simple as that. Like you want to tell yourself that from now to 2025, I want to achieve 3 things, right? Only 3 things. Only 3 things. Only 3 things. Like don't stress. Only 3 things. What do you think those 3 things are? Three. Number 1, you have a car. Very decent one that you can commute. Very decent one. The word is decent. Number 2,
Healthy bank account. Is it part?
Number 2 is a house. Right?
House, yeah. Okay,
A
5
house.
years. Okay, but that's for those who are out of school and
Yes. Number 2 is a house, right? It must not be the most flashiest. If it's even a 1-bedroom apartment and it's yours, it must be yours. Or 2-bedroom or 3 detached, semi-detached, whatever the hell anybody's going to say, it's for you. I remember when I got my semi-detached house. People don't understand that life is all about planning. Life, it's not luck, it's planning. You guys remember when people used to, make a mockery of me that, look at him, he says he's a forex trader, he's living in a semi-detached house. When he parks his cars, he cannot even walk around the house, But they didn't realize that it was all part of the written goals and plans and targets, and I don't blame them because sometimes we can all go overboard, as traders. The banter is sometimes healthy for the space. It makes it interesting. Some people, they started trading because they saw this and this beefing. I don't know if you get what I mean.
yeah.
Like,
Let me
hey,
make money.
2 forex traders are fighting in Nigeria, 2 forex traders are fighting in Ghana. Who are they? Hey, one has a Lamborghini, one has a Range Rover. They are saying who has the biggest money and this. Okay, wow. Hey, trading. Then they start trading. So it's good,
Yeah.
right? It's good for the industry. But I'm saying that based on the plans that I'm sharing with you, like people literally, made a mockery about me that you don't have the heart. But I'm saying that for your level, for your age, don't fucking care about that. All you want to care about is that you actually own it and then you have eliminated, in fact, yourself from ever falling in the cycle of rent. Because look,
It's crazy.
it's crazy. Rent,
Trust you back.
rent is like mental slavery.
Like you work.
Rent is like a mental slavery. You know, who here rents and who here owns a property that belongs to them, or at least they are fortunate for their parents to own a house, so they have like their dedicated room. For people that are fortunate to have a house and then they have their dedicated room, they will never relate to this conversation.
course.
They will never relate.
Yeah.
You know, they will never relate because like
You have it
they
already.
have it already.
Yeah, it's been
You know,
provided.
or for people that own their own house by virtue of it being their 18th birthday,
Yeah, or maybe inheritance.
Inheritance.
You know, all those.
they'll never relate.
Yeah.
Right? Because some of us, we know where we come from. You know,
It's crazy, yeah.
there are some of us who know where we come from, then that's like a big thing that you want to take out from yourself, and you want to do that very early. Rent makes me lose weight every January. You see? Can you tell me some of your problems with rent? Can you tell me? Share with me. Tell me. Yes, we probably have to be going soon though.
Yeah.
But we'll continue this conversation even when I go home or something. You know, it's nice sometimes to catch up with you
Yeah.
guys. When I get prepared, Dimo was on my neck. I should share about my global macro theory about the world currently, geopolitical events, what is happening now. I'll share it all with you. I have it all written down. Look, I spent, how many hours did I spend today?
Since we woke up, you woke up before me, and I woke up at 7.
So I woke up at what time?
Let's say 5. So since 5, and we left the house at 1 o'clock.
What
so
have I
since
been doing?
5 to 1, learning and watching
You understand?
learning from the guy.
You understand? From 5 a.m., right? All through. I even actually woke up before 5 though because I had to go and take my bath and all that.
Yeah.
Right, I woke up probably around like 4-ish, 4:30-ish. Took my shower and then sat by my computer, and I only left the computer at 1 or 2-ish. And what have I been doing? Understudying, researching global politics, and then I was reading some very sensitive documents. I can't share them here, you know, and also really understanding the scope of the industry as a whole in Africa, you know, and then the world at large, you know, and then formulating some serial plans that I know that's going to affect the continent as a whole, you know. So let me summarize it. You want to get a commutable car,
Yeah.
get a nice 1, 2, 3 bedroom house if you can afford it, and you must be able to afford it, and then you get a healthy bank account, which is where you're coming to a decent bank account, right? A decent bank account is not going to be able to, let me say, eliminate you from the cycle of stress forever, right? It's only temporary, but at least you need that as a cushion or a soft landing to be able to forge ahead. You know, that's what people think
Yeah.
that, you know, it's funny, when I first made my first 100,000 Ghana cedis, right? Not dollars, right? My first 100,000, I've made, in my progression in life, I've made my first 1,000 Ghana cedis, then I went on to make my first $1,000. I went on to make my first, what's the name? 10,000 Ghana cedis, then I went on to make my first $10,000. I went on to make my first 100,000 Ghana cedis, and I went on to make my first $100,000. So it's just been like progressive like that for me. But the most cyclical part of the turning point was when I made my first 100,000 Ghana cedis. Look, it was very emotional for me.
I mean,
was
when
very-
I had my first 100,000 Ghana.
It was emotional.
I thought it would never finish. Remember?
Of course.
I thought like the money would just
Of course.
be.
The
Then how many months? Like 4 months.
4 months.
It was 4
4 months? Probably like two months, if you should be correct. You know, so like that money is not going to sustain you for even so many months down the line. Even if you think that, oh, if I have 100,000, all I have to do is that I'll be spending 30 Ghana cedis every day. You know, we do entertain that funny thing. If I make 100,000, me juma mo bi abiom. Yeah, maybe 50 Ghana cedis every day. Maybe 50 Ghana cedis. Anopa me to gobe, enyumre me to wache, enyumre anopa me to cocoa. Maybe you know you want to do that for the. That's not life. You will not do that. I don't know if you get what I mean.
Of course, you know, when your money increases, your taste increases.
You will not do that. The reality is that you will not. The reality is you will not do
Life
that.
keeps catching up with you.
You will not do that.
Even the economy will catch up with
of
you.
course.
Imagine 100,000 when you made your first 100,000 now. Like,
when I made my 100,000, do 5 divided by 100,000 for me. No, 100,000 divided by 5. What was that? Divided by 5. That meant that my 100,000 was equivalent to $20,000 when I made my first 100,000, right? My 100,000 was equivalent to 20. Now do the same 100,000 divided by 13. Divided by 13. Now that same 100,000, which was equivalent to $20,000, is no more $20,000, but what? 7,600. 7,600. Right? Imagine I was priding myself. I have 100,000 equivalent to $20,000. Now 7,600. It's a lot, you know. Some of these conversations, they are so interesting to have. You will never finish.
you don't want to end it.
Shall we just go?
Let's go.
I mean, we should go into the car before I end it, eh?
I wanted to get chapstick from Carrefour.
Okay, so I should end it.
Or you want to go to the car?
No, it's fine. Let's end it. So we're going.
Yeah.
Look, guys, just stick around. Keep your notifications on. We're just going to do some few things, and then when I probably settle back home properly, we're going to do this again. I love having this type of conversations with you guys. Somebody say I should save your life. You think I should save it? Maybe briefly, right? I'll save it briefly. I'll save it for the next maybe 1 hour or 2, right? So watch it, rewatch it, whatever you want to do. I'll leave it for a few minutes, and then it will be off. It will definitely be off, right? I'll catch up with you guys. Take care, everybody.